We're live.
We're live. Oh no, it's not live. Anyways, hello everybody. This is Tom Hanyati here. It is your midweek Macca break, and I'm joined with my friend Aaron Badgley, who, I think he's got this little book out, called Dark Horse Records. And we'll be talking more about Dark Horse Records in a little bit, right? There's some releases coming out soon, and Aaron will give us all the scoop on that. Okay, so we've got Tony D in the house already. Hello, Tony, and he's saying hello. There you go. So good to see you. Anyways, Aaron, what's been up, man? How was your week?
Pretty good, really. It wasn't too eventful. We nothing exciting. I wish I had something exciting to tell you, but I did. I talked to Graham Bonnet, who had an album out on Ringo Records. That was cool.
Okay.
And I talked to the drummer of a group called Stormer, who had a single on Ringo Records and an album recorded but never came out. So that was kind of exciting. How about you?
Oh, well, last week when we left, I was getting ready to go see somebody that put out this album called Rough and Rowdy Ways, and we'll talk about that.
Love the show.
Yeah. So we'll talk about my Dylan experience, because it definitely was an experience. And Tony already wants to know where you can get your book. Well, it's not out yet, right? The Ringo book.
Ringo's not out yet. The rough draft is 98% done. So it should be out, I'm thinking, sooner than later. It's been exciting to write the book, and I'm excited to get it out because there's a lot of cool info in it, and it's been fun. So, yeah. But it'll be probably the same as Dark Horse. You can get it everywhere when it comes out.
Excellent.
Hopefully.
And we got Henry here saying hello.
Hi, Henry.
And, if you're out there and if you're watching for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. This is Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast with myself and my friend Andy Nichols. We also do live shows, throughout the week. I usually do one during the midweek, and Andy usually does one on Sunday mornings. And then our usual shows, our regular shows, will generally drop on Saturdays. And last week we dropped our latest episode on remixes, specifically Paul McCartney remixes. And we talked about our 5 favorite, and we'll go over a few of them during this live show as well. So if you're new here, and if you haven't, please subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. And hit the like button on this live stream as well, please. It'll help us out. And we've got Mike here. How you doing, Mike? And we've got Bernie here. How you doing? Glad you guys are. Glad you're all here. What's that?
I see that Tony meant my Dark Horse book. The Dark Horse book is available everywhere. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, everywhere you can order. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
I'll be at the August Fest.
Yes. Excellent. And then we've got Mike saying good morning. Is it morning still, or is it morning where you are? Are you on the West Coast there, Mike? Hey, Tom, Aaron, Patrick from Australia. Hello. Good day, Mike, as they say, right?
I think it's Sunday in Australia.
Okay, I'm not going to say shrimp on the Barbie or anything like that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not. I won't say Nicole Kidman. I won't say that. I won't say Mad Max. I won't say anything like that. So there you go. But I do love the Mad Max, the original Mad Max trilogy. How about that?
Actually, I was speaking to a gentleman yesterday, Graham Bonnet, who was very big in Australia in the late 70s on Ringo Records, much bigger, actually a number 2 single called Warm Ride, made number 2. Okay. So Australia was very big. We stayed there for 3.5 years. So Welcome,
cool.
welcome from Australia.
Cool. There was a really good documentary. It was on Tubi TV. It was about the Australian filmmakers from, I think, like in the 70s and 80s. It's really good. Because there is some good stuff out there. It's not just all Mad Max, you know. Mike says he's in Central Time, so yes, I guess you can say it is morning there. We've got Richard. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing?
Yeah. We're not going to say Hugh Jackman either because he's Australian. Just found the book online and we'll add it to my cart. Excellent. There you go.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
My job here is done.
I appreciate Tony. I appreciate your support. And Tom, you're what can I do? I couldn't be without you. So thank you.
Oh, just kidding. Are both attending the fest for the Fab in Chicago. I love to meet you both in person. We both plan on being there. Aaron will be there selling his book. This one right here. This one right here. Yes.
Yeah.
He'll scribble in it for you.
Yeah.
Did you scribble in mine? I think you did.
I thought I did.
Yeah, you did. I just, let's just see. Dear Tom, please leave me alone. Aaron, okay, yeah.
That's what I wrote, yeah.
Tom, stop calling. No, I'm not going to give you my answer.
I was gonna manufacture a Rush's 12-inch and hold it up to but then that would have been mean. So I didn't do it.
The bane of my existence, Rush's on vinyl. Anyways, so yes, Joe, we will both be there. And here's Doc with the lasagna. Hopefully you had plenty of plates of lasagna last week, my friend. Anyways, so how many times have you?
I just got, Tom.
What?
I got this. I got Strawberries Fireman album on cassette. Yes. Canadian.
Ooh. Canadian,
which has got a clear.
I got that's on the other side of the table. But yeah, I recently picked that up as well, but I don't think it's Canadian. But you never know. You never know.
I was happy to find it.
Excellent. Because you just can't have the CD and the LPs either. You got to have the cassettes as well, right? Because that's just how crazy we are. Anyways, so how many times have you seen Bob Dylan? Did we talk about this last week? You've seen him before live, right?
7 times. 7 times.
When was the earliest that you saw him? Or the first time?
First time I saw him would have been, he was touring Slow Train Coming, so that would have been 78.
Oh, okay.
At Massey Hall. Yeah.
Oh,
and he only did, he did songs off Slow Train Coming and Saved, and I'll never forget because someone yelled out, "Do lay, lady, lay." And Dylan responded, "You should have been here 3 years ago, man."
Great.
Love it.
And when was the last time?
I love Dylan.
Yeah, when was the last
time I saw him? On the Rough and Rowdy Ways tour in New York City, 2020. Well, just after the pandemic. So what was it? 2023, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Around there.
So relatively recently, you've seen Dylan. So when I saw him last week, it was my first time going to see him live, as I've mentioned, and I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what to expect. I had known the set list. I've listened to Rough and Rowdy Ways, the album, several times, and I listened to it a few more times on the way there, because that's what you do. But I got to tell you, I was very pleased. I was relatively happy with the show, and I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the uglies. Okay, so the good was, the band is fantastic. His band is tight. They sound great, and I love the band. Okay, not the band, but his band. Okay,
and good too, though.
Yeah. The crowd was fantastic. The crowd was very much into it. It's always great when you go see an act and the crowd is very appreciative. and because you know what, I would guarantee that just about everybody there did not know what to expect. I'm sure there's people there going there expecting to see blowing in the wind and all that stuff, and there was none of that. So that's good. The crowd was great, and the bad was good. The bad, the stage was very dimly lit. Okay, you can hardly see anything on the stage, and that kind of a little bit ruined the experience a little bit. Okay, I should also mention that the set list is very good. If you like Rough and Rowdy Ways, and then he sprinkles in a few things that you may know throughout. So the bad was definitely the dimly lit stage. That kind of took a little enjoyment out of it. But the ugly was, obviously, I don't think he cares much about his past works because he sounded terrible. The first two tracks, I'll Be Your Baby Tonight and It Ain't Me, Babe, were two of the worst sung songs I've ever heard. It was kind of very reminiscent of the Christmas album, which is probably his worst sung album, in my opinion. Okay, throughout his catalog, he sounded terrible. But then when he sang the new songs, they were good. You couldn't understand every word he was saying, but if you were familiar with the album, you knew what he was singing. Okay, and I think what also throws people off is that he's playing piano. He's not playing guitar. He plays piano throughout the show. So obviously now the arrangements are going to be different because he's playing piano and not guitar. But it was cool to see him, play harmonica. That was a standout as well. But some of the standout tracks, It Ain't Me, even though he sounded like shit, it was still cool to see him do that song. And It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. He did Desolation Row as well. To Be Alone With You, he did. So that was fun as well. But I really do. I enjoy most of Rough and Rowdy Ways. I think the more I've listened to it, the more I think it's a fantastic album. He does. The Rough and Rowdy Ways has 10 tracks. He does 9 of the 10, not including Murder Most Foul. Right. So, but for me, I would give this a B-.
I think. I don't know that he doesn't like his older stuff. I think that he kicks off with his older stuff, and I think his voice kicks in. Because when I saw him, it was the same kind of thing where the first couple of songs he opened up with "Watching the River Flow," which is a song I love, and his voice got progressively better during the show, and I couldn't help but thinking, I think it's just that's how his voice works, that he just gets better. But I also think he doesn't treat his songs I hold his songs in such high esteem. They're his songs. So he does what he wants with them, right?
Well, yeah.
And I love that about Dylan. And I as I said, I've seen him numerous times, and I'm never surprised by what he does because he's always surprising. And
right.
I think Rough and Rowdy Ways, 50 years from now, the people will be going, that's one of his best albums. Same way as Blood on the Tracks or Desire or Street Legal. I think it's going to become a classic. I think it's an astounding album. Wish he'd do another one. But, what do you do? But I'm glad it sounds like you enjoyed it more than you thought you would.
Yeah, I did. And so much so that, I'm thinking about, I probably will get tickets for the Outlaw show and join somebody that I know that's going to that. And, if they don't mind.
No. I do have a question for you. What do you think of his cover of Things We Said Today?
It's rough. But listen, but it's cool that he's covered it. I mean, how cool is it that Dylan covered, a Beatles track?
Especially Things We Said Today, which is a nod song Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're somebody that's familiar with the history of Dylan and the Beatles, and then the inspiration that he had on John Lennon, maybe you think he would sing, you've got to hide your love away, or something like that. But this was a McCartney tribute album, so but it would have been cool to have seen him cover maybe something from Paul's solo catalog, but yeah, and I think, but you know what, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, maybe there is some influence in that song from Dylan, and things we said today, because I was trying to think, okay, well, there's obviously some Lennon songs that you can tell are influenced by Dylan, and I was trying to think of some Paul songs that could have been influenced from Dylan, and maybe things we said today could be one of those tracks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's. I think Dylan influenced McCartney a great deal. I mean, and I think that McCartney holds him in high esteem, and I think Dylan holds him in high esteem.
Oh, Dylan said that Paul's the only person he's ever been starstruck by. So,
yeah, I can understand that. I'd probably have a
right.
But,
Brad says, I just came up to find a good recipe for turkey burgers, and bam, there's Tom doing a midweek live. What's up, Brad? How you doing? I saw your email, buddy. I'll get to that soon, because I'm not 100% sure if I'll make one or the other, but I would like to at least go to that Abbey Road on the River, or whatever it's called there. But we'll talk soon about that. Let's see. Henry says Dylan's actually a really funny dude, really dry humor. Yeah.
Yeah, he's some of his press conferences and interviews, and I mean, my favorite of all time is the "Do you see yourself as a singer-songwriter?" I see myself as a song and dance man. I mean, great sense of humor, and I love Dylan. He should do more interviews because he's quite funny.
Right. Joe says, Tom, is McCartney working on a new LP? Rumor has it. Also, anything Back to the Egg and London Town Archives release? There's talk that it's coming. Well, there's talk. It all is a speculation, okay, because nobody knows for sure, except for people in his camp. Okay, all of those things are very tight-lipped. And to be honest with you, if I was somebody that was in the know, I wouldn't say, because I would want to continue to be trusted and be in the know. Wouldn't you agree with that there, Aaron? Or would you just blab it to everybody?
No. I would never betray anyone's trust, Beatle or otherwise.
Right.
But I think they're keeping very tight-lipped on what's coming next. I mean, I keep hoping there's going to be, I had hoped with the Venus to Mars reissue there was going to be some live stuff, a live album, a DVD. But I'll enjoy whatever comes my way.
Right.
I have to make a point of saying, no, honey, I do need 4 different versions of this album.
Yes. As far as a new album, it's very well known that McCartney is working on the new album, and he did say in the January edition of on his website that he was putting the finishing touches on the mixes of the new album, which he's working on with Andrew Watts, who did the new Stones record. He did the new Elton John record, which by the way, I did watch like the first half of that Elton documentary that was on Disney Plus.
You're good.
Okay, yeah, but amazing, yeah, it was a lot of great old footage. Fantastic. I have to get back to that. But anyway, so that's that right now. So the new album should be out sometime this year.
Well, it's also confirmed that he's on the new Streisand album, which comes out September. Yes. Is it Tom? Is it September or June?
I think September. Summertime.
Dylan's on it too. Dylan and Babs doing a duet. Can't wait.
Dylan doing a duet with Babs, and McCartney's there as well. It's going to be a very, very interesting album. I don't know if I would buy it or not. I mean, it feels like the Dolly Part 2 or something like that. Babs has definitely done like something like this before. I mean, obviously the Guilty album is filled with duets with Barry Gibb, which done very well. Um,
Well, she also did the duets album. She had a duets album out back in the
right,
90s, I think. And so,
right.
as again, I think I mentioned this before. Lele, she and Dylan have both said that he wrote "Lay Lady Lay" for her
Right.
to record during her singer-songwriter phase of in the early 70s. But I wonder if they'll do that one. That'd be cool. That'd be a great duet for them.
Yes, I concur. Tony says they should have Timothy Chalamet instead. Okay. Tom, who had the better concert, Bob Dylan or Morrissey? Well,
You saw Morrissey. I forgot. Yeah.
yeah. Listen, Morrissey. Okay, just Morrissey.
I saw him in Toronto. He was great. I thought he put on a great show.
Yeah. Let's see here. Henry says, what does Dylan look like now, Tom? Is he looking robust or more frail because he's like 83? Well, as I stated, the stage was very dimly lit. And I was, up in the second tier. So I really didn't get a good look at him at all. So,
but that's his lighting for his last few tours. He's always done that kind of start. Really? Yeah. I mean, last few times I've seen him, he's done that. But
right. I love in Cleo knowing where Dylan tells his girlfriend your songs are bland. They are like an oil painting in a dentist's office. Yeah, he was pretty critical. Very critical.
Funny.
Yeah. What's that line in Diamonds and Rust from Joan Baez? You told me my poetry was lousy or something like that, or for the most part. Well, just a fantastic song. I love that song, Diamonds Rust. If you guys want to hear a fantastic song about Bob Dylan, listen to Diamonds and Rust by Joan Baez. On The Art of McCartney, he sounded like he was singing from inside a cave. Okay, we're not going to get into any of that. Paul Simon described Martini on a higher tier of song. Hey, that's right. Owen Wing.
Listen, we had coffee. We actually moved. We got together. It was so cool to see you in person. How you doing?
Right. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away is influenced by Dylan. Absolutely.
Do you know a song I just discovered was really heavily influenced by Dylan? Listen, do a comparison of Maggie May and It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. And the melody is remarkably close. So says I. But it just kind of struck me the other day because I heard them kind of on the radio not too far apart. I thought, geez, Maggie May borrows from Dylan, which is fine.
Rod the Mod stealing from Dylan. Oh.
Well, I said we were bigger than Rod, not God. So.
Very good, young man. Very good. I'm one of those people that generally enjoys Dylan's extremely whimsy nasal voice, but the Christmas album was too much to bear. I will go on record saying that it's probably his worst singing throughout his career.
But I just say that but he put out a single at the same time with the B side of Must Be Santa is him reading Night Before Christmas, which is good. I mean, he does it faster than I've ever heard anyone, but he's doing it in that Dylan drawl. It's great. It's okay. Look it up, folks. It's great.
Very good. James Byers, hello. Is this the right room for an argument? Good V, my friend.
Always.
Favorite Dylan album is I love Blonde on Blonde. There's just so much great stuff in there, and then probably followed by Nashville Skyline.
But they asked you, Tom, not me, so that's good.
But I'm going to ask you.
My favorite Dylan album for me is Blood on the Tracks, and followed closely by Street Legal. Those two albums. Street Legal, yeah, it's a great album.
Tony said that's one that I still need to listen to. Tony says Bring It All Back Home is my favorite from Dylan. Okay.
No.
All right. Let's see here. Byers says, how are you, gentlemen? I've been listening to another side of Bob Dylan a lot lately. Love that album. Yeah.
Great album.
I thought it was kind of like one of his I mean, obviously all those albums are great in that period, but I would probably put that on the lower side of those albums that came out around that time. But it's a good record. It's definitely a good record. Yeah. Let's see here. Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks has been touring together for a few years. Would love to see one of those live shows. I'm a big fan of
That'd
both.
be great. That would be
I
awesome.
I had worked several Billy Joel shows, and I can tell you that I want to stay far away from a Billy Joel show.
Why?
Well, I mean, they were just those Billy Joel shows are very, let's say, time consuming and very stressful. A lot of work, a lot of work on those Billy Joel shows. Let's see here. The coffee was mighty fine. There you go.
I'm coming back in a few months to see my daughter, so I'm going to hit you up for another coffee.
Awesome. Hey, Mazzy, how you doing? Dylan borrowed from the traditional song of Maggie May. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, no. Good point.
It was the other way around there, sir.
I'm thinking of Rod Stewart's Maggie May, which is very different than
Maggie. Yeah. Oh, dirty Maggie May. I've seen Stevie Nicks 3 times and would like to again. Great.
She's great live. I saw her last year, and I got tickets to see her again this year. She's fantastic.
Did she tell you to stand back?
She did. I got the restraining order. Do you want to see it? Yeah.
Stand back. Let's see here. Oops, missed one here. Santa Claus comes tonight. Yeah. Lucky Santa, good band name. Okay.
Oh, yeah, not bad. I like that name. There was a Canadian band who went with the unfortunate name Christmas, and it's just not a great name because it doesn't fly. In the middle of August, you'll go, "There's something brand new from Christmas." You're like, no.
Jack, how you doing, Jack? Excuse me. He says Mr. Zinnemann has had an amazing career.
I agree.
As we know, that Lennon didn't believe in Zinnemann, so Zimmerman.
He didn't. I don't believe in him.
No, he didn't believe in him. So a lower side of Bob. Yeah, exactly. I have that one on the lower side. Hello, how you doing, Real Jackson? Yeah, this is Aaron. If you don't know,
yes.
Aaron, this is guests.
Hi.
The guest has a name, and it's Aaron.
That's fine.
If you didn't know, my guest here wrote the book Dark Horse Records, the story of George Harrison, post Beatles record label. Okay.
We'll talk later on about some new Dark Horse stuff coming out on May 9th.
Yeah, so we're going to get to that next here. Okay. Blonde on Blonde #1 for him too. Very good. Okay, so May what 9th was it?
May 9th, there's a bunch of George Harrison albums being reissued through the new deal with B&G. They're actually coming out with Wonderwall, because Wonderwall's only been out on Zoetrope from a Record Store Day release. So the vinyl and CDs coming out with bonus tracks. And these are all the same as the 2017 issues, by the way. Electronic Sound, Dark Horse, Extra Texture, 33 1/3, and a 2 CD version of All Things Must Pass.
Oh, just the 2 CD version.
Yeah, so there's going to be all of that on vinyl and CD, and the CDs will have the bonus tracks that they had back in 2017. So if you missed them then, you can catch up now. They'll all have new catalog numbers because they're going to fall in line with the new Dark Horse. And, of course, the other big news is the new Billy Idol album, which is coming out, is on Dark Horse, featuring a duet with Canada's own Avril Lavigne, which is cool. So, lots going on in Dark Horse Records.
Oh, wow. Not Corey Hart?
I don't know what Corey's doing these days. I think he's a bank manager. I don't know.
Never surrender, Corey. Never surrender.
Never surrender, buddy. Never surrender. Don't ever surrender. Put those sunglasses on at night and just never surrender. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, I'm learning more and more. There's more and more Canadians out there that are famous that it's crazy.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're like we're
everywhere. You're like weeds. You guys never stop growing. I mean,
I know Brian Adams. I mean, Joni Mitchell. Yeah.
Well, we know about those ones.
No, there's a lot of Canadians that are kind of subversively entertaining you all. And
yes.
Hey, I saw the new Neil Young film, Coastal.
Oh, you did? Yeah, directed by Daryl Hannah. Yeah, I think I do need to see that. How'd you like it?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. Because someone said Bob Dylan. Neil Young is very funny in the film. And at one point, he says on stage, I hope you like the show because this is the hits behind the hits. I'm not doing hits. I'm doing the hits behind the hits. So.
And I'm glad you reminded me of that because that was the only time Dylan acknowledged the crowd last week. Was he did a song from the new album. Okay, people were clapping, and then you could hear him say "No hits tonight," and then he went right into "To Be Alone with You." So that was the only time he acknowledged the crowd, except for introducing the band members.
Yeah. What a band. He's got such a great band.
Yeah. Great band. So there you go. There you got your high.
Thanks. Thank you.
Sure, excuse me. Rod also had a Dylan track. Tomorrow is a long time on every picture. Right. Blonde on Blonde is still my favorite. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of love for Blonde on Blonde. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Yeah. Checks in the mail, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you. No, I really, you know what? I really appreciate that when people say that because it means a great deal to me, all kidding aside. And it's thank you very, very much.
Right. So going back to the Dark Horse stuff. So the labels and everything are going to be the same, or is it going to be like on Dark Horse record label? Do we know? Or
Dark Horse label. Dark Horse label.
So now we have to get all this stuff because you're going to have new labels on them and stuff. And you said also new Matrix numbers as well, right?
Yep, everything's brand new. Except, I mean, they're old mixes. There's nothing new with the mixes and stuff.
Mixes, right?
But you know what? I can honestly say when I was in Ireland, I picked up Brainwashed on Dark Horse, which I came out I think in January, and boy, does it sound good. It sounded really nice. It sounded really like fresh vinyl. It was good.
Okay, cool. Very good. Let's see here. The Real Jackson, the Billy Joel, one of my favorite singers, great melody maker, a bit like Macca. Yeah, sure.
I agree.
Very good. Doc says, "Don't you dare diss Tony DeFranco." Okay.
DeFranco Heartbeat. It's a love beat. My goodness. Okay, Doc, that was a good one. I totally forgot the DeFranco family, Canada's own. Yeah. Wow. Oh boy, I gotta get that song in my head now all day. Thank you, Doc. Thanks.
Brad says, "Why do you think, or what do you think of Bob Dylan's cover of Yesterday?" I try not to think of it myself. I don't think I've actually heard that.
I've never heard. Oh wait, is that the one with George Harrison on the 1970 or whatever the Woodstock album? Because it's very odd. It's a really odd cover. It's very interesting.
Dylan seems to be doing healthy because if you see him in early interviews and in the movie, he's smoked like a chimney. Okay. I mean, obviously he's well enough to be on stage every other night for 90 minutes, you know.
He never stops touring.
Yeah. Question for the panel. Do you think we will ever get a Paul hardcore tour? Has the time passed for that? Well, what do you mean? Like kind of like more like a theater, more intimate type setting tour? If you're thinking like that, those terms, then no, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that, except for those little smaller gigs that he does from time to time. The one-offs like the Barclays, or not the Barclays, but the one he just did back in February.
New York,
the up close and all those things, you know. But I don't know. Yeah,
I could see him doing a tour where he might do like New York, Boston, Chicago, and then take a break, and then maybe do LA and stuff. And I could see him breaking it up over 3 months, I would hope. Boy, I'd love to see him again because I haven't seen him for a while. So I would be very happy to see him again. So
yeah. So would I.
So would I. But you'd probably get tickets that I wouldn't. So
you never know. James says, I'm waiting for a remaster of 33 and a third, but we might have to wait till next year. Oh, yeah. So, like the box sets. I mean, obviously, I think we all kind of know that the concert for Bangladesh is coming next at some point this year. I believe we're getting probably a new Blu-ray 4K version of the film, I would imagine.
But to James's point, there is a lot of material. There was a lot of recording done for 33 and a third at his home studio, and there's a lot of demos. And I think if that album would benefit from a remaster and kind of kick up the sound a wee bit. I love 33 and a third. It's one of my favorite George Harrison albums. But I haven't seen anything yet. And I also heard rumblings about Dark Horse box set with maybe one concert footage or maybe a combination. Because again, those were filmed, right? So, but then his voice wasn't the best, so you never know, right?
Right. Well, maybe Peter Jackson's team, could have, enhanced it.
We could keep them busy forever.
Right. Well, right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Let's see here.
I'm with you.
Aaron was kind enough to sign a copy of his book for me at the Fest in 24. Thank you, mate. Everyone should buy the book. It's a fantastic resource for any serious Beatles fan.
I am so touched. Thank you very much. That's great. Wow. All I can say is thank you. And I remember talking to you, Nick. And if you're in Chicago, come by, say hi. We can hang out. I've always liked talking to people who share the same, just talking Beatle talk or whatever. That's great. That's why I love going to the fest. And I get to hang out with Tom, which is always, I feel like a cool kid.
Shut up. But as Nick says, it's only if you're a serious Beatles fan. You can't be no, you got to be serious. You got to be serious. No, I'm just kidding. Just teasing. Just teasing, Nick. Let's see here. Press's Heartbeat. It's a love beat. Was one of my first.
You want me to start singing it? Okay, Brad, full disclosure, I had the 45 too when I was a kid, and it drove my mother nuts. But I have a radio show here in Canada where we do stuff from the 70s Canadian CanCon. We do a little section, and I played it, and I actually got a letter, an email saying, "Please don't play that again," because it was just stuck in my head for the entire day. It's a great song.
Wasn't that a Don Johnson song from the 80s or something like that? Heartbeat.
Different track. It was a Don Johnson. Yeah.
Right. Well, I know it's different track. Yeah.
Oh, very different.
Very, very different. He's definitely doing better than Frankie Valli. Are we talking about Dylan? Because if that's the case, then yes.
I think we're all doing better than Frankie Valli.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're gonna get to something else here in a second. I'm gonna show something.
No Beatles.
No Beatles. What do you mean no Beatles? I think the recent London gig at the O2, Paul mentioned that he might do a deep cut show sometime. Well, you know what he says he's going to do a sound check album too, or he was thinking about doing one, and we haven't got that yet either. So, I don't put too much thought into those kind of releases.
You know what, though, Nick? I'm praying he does. Paul's like Ringo. Like Ringo could do a whole concert of Ringo solo stuff. I love the All-Stars too. Don't misunderstand me. But Paul kind of goes to the Beatles stuff now, where I'd love him to do things like Flaming Pie or World Tonight, or there's so many great songs off of New and Chaos and Creation that, man, do them. So I'm with you, buddy. Yeah.
So I picked something up. I'm not the biggest bootleg person, okay, but I picked this up. The price was okay, so I said, "What the heck?" And that's this. It's called Paul McCartney, Little Live Rarities.
Oh, I like the cover. It's a great cover.
Yeah, Yeah, so it's got P.S. Love Me Do, which I think personally might be in the top five worst things he's ever done. Then you got Only Love Remains, Blue Moon of Kentucky, and Best Friend. So a little bit of the Blue Moon of Kentucky and Best Friend is Denmark 1972, it says here. Only Love Remains is from the Royal Variety performance from 86. And then you got P.S. Let Me Do is from England, 5/5 of 90. So there's that. And then, there's just, it's kind of like a greenish.
Where'd you get that? Cool. I think that's
eBay, so there's nothing on the label or anything like that. So,
the first bootleg I ever got was a single with McCartney's live Long Tall Sally on A side and John doing Hound Dog on the B side with a picture sleeve. So they took the main cover and then John's postcard.
Right.
Great sleeve. That's a great little EP. Do you have the P.S. Love Me Do studio version?
No, not yet. No,
you don't have it? That's good. That's great.
Yeah. I'll get a few more comments here. Brad, I heard Heartbeat on the radio this morning, and it kind of sucks.
It's stuck. That sucks. Stuck.
Roy Orbison's birthday today. His son was at the fest a few years ago. Yeah, performing in Manhattan.
That's okay.
Cool. Yeah. Plan to be. Oh, great, Nick. That's awesome to hear.
Hi. Please come and say hi.
Yeah.
Grab a coffee.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's good for you. 88. He looked good. Nicholson looked good on the Saturday Night Live special. I thought he looked all right. It seems to be okay.
You see those recent pictures of him on a boat with his shirt off? Yeah, that was
you don't want to see me with the shirt off. So, and I'm only 60. So, just saying. Just put it out there. Oh, I was trying not to do a spit take.
Okay. Byron says I'm a Silly Riddles fan. I think we all are Silly Riddles fans.
Has Yvonne Innis's book come out yet? Has anyone got it?
I think it is. I think it's out. Yes.
Okay. I ordered it and I haven't got it yet. So
she was at this past fest that you neglected, that you just had no desire to go to. You're like, you're only hanging out with your child. I mean, that's fine. I guess we'll understand.
Was she good to listen to? Like, did she talk a lot about?
I didn't partake in that one. Sorry. I was wanting to meet Roy Orbison Jr. That his dad wasn't really blind. Okay. I think we knew that. Did I know that? Did you know that?
The only time I ever saw Roy Orbison was at a football game in Canada. We had Rough Riders, and after the Rough Rider game, which they lost Ottawa, they bring Roy out on a flatbed truck and his band, and they performed. It was great. I loved it.
Wait, did they lose because Roy Orbison was playing or not?
They lost because that year they sucked so good. Just terrible. Just awful. 87 over. That was a rough year.
The Riddles movie, All You Need Is Cash, it is.
Absolutely.
It is. It was very well written. As a script and as music as well. So very well done. As I write this letter. Yep.
Love me do.
Byers says, I wish Paul would do stuff like Take It Away, Young Boy, Night, No More Lonely Nights, Big Barn Bed. But how would an 83? Well, I mean, I can see Paul doing of all those tracks. If you're thinking realistically, what could Paul's voice handle from that list? And I would say probably he could handle Big Barn Bed the best.
And it would be the greatest concert opener of all time.
Yes, it would.
I don't know.
It was the greatest TV concert opener or TV special opener ever.
With the TV sets and people.
Yes.
Just brilliant. So, yeah, I'm with you, James. I would love. And Young Boy. Wow, do I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Tea, not coffee. Okay, we got a treat. And then obviously he's more specific and he says English tea, that is.
Would you like to sit with me, have some English tea?
Miles and miles of English garden. Okay, that's enough.
That's good.
Henry says, where did you get the taxi driver shirt, by the way, Tom? I think I got it on Amazon, where you can get everything. including Dark Horse Records, the story of George Harrison's post-Beatle record label.
Flog it.
Let's see here. Tony says Heartbreak Radio is great. Song from posthumous Roy Orbison album, King of Hearts. Okay.
Great song.
Wes, how you doing, Wes? Tom, you do have the studio version of PS Let Me Do It. It's part of my Beatles A to Z mix I gave you at the. Yes, that's right. Yes, thank you, Wes. I have yet to listen to that stuff, unfortunately. You know, I got to do is I got to put that stuff in my car because that's where my CD player is in my car because I don't have one. I have a turntable in here, but I don't have a CD player. So I need to get that stuff in my car, Wes, so I can make sure that I'm listening to that stuff. Thank you. I think he could do In the World Tonight.
Absolutely.
You know what verse what lyric he would sing really good. He go, I think he could really handle I Go Back So Far I'm in Front of Me, which is one of my favorite lyrics. Oops.
I'm with you. I love the song. That was a big hit too. Radio for Flaming Pie was, I don't know about in Chicago, but it got lots of airtime here in Toronto. So
okay, all right. Nick says, hold on. Nod Your Head and Freedom, possibly Motor Love must be in the top 5 worst. Yeah, definitely Freedom, definitely Motor of Love for me. Nod Your Head, I've never been the biggest fan of. I would also put in Red Nose Reindeer Reggae.
You got the Red Nose Reggae.
Yeah, reggae. Thank you.
If you're gonna curse, it's get the title.
Yeah,
right.
I got to do it right. I know, but I hate it so much that I don't even know the real title of the song.
I don't mind Motor of Love. I don't. I think it's just a bit too long. I think it could have used an editor. But Nod Your Head was
definitely 6 minutes. It's definitely 6 minutes too long.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
That's fine. No.
Yeah.
You laugh. You make me laugh. So.
Okay. Question for the panel: do y'all like Two of Hearts by Stacey Q?
Are we going for earworms now, or what are we doing? Because
I don't know if I know that song.
It was good. I mean, I don't hear it very often these days, but I liked it when it came out at the time. It was, but
okay.
I'm a sucker for a good beat and a good melody.
Yes. Erica was playing the Albert Hall.
Really?
Can't wait. Really?
Wow. In September. Geez, I might come over for that. No, but that'd be great.
I love Nod Your Head.
All right, Tony, good for you. Yeah, see, everyone has the beauty, right? Someone may not like it and other people love it. That's great.
Yeah. Let's see here. Henry says, I haven't seen it, but people seem to be in love with the new film Sinners. I saw it Monday night and I enjoyed Sinners. It's very, very music heavy.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah. A lot of bluesy, some Irish.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, Ryan the Coogler, the director, he has a big love for Irish folk. So there is some Irish folk featured in the film. The
cool.
film does take a little while to get to the actual, bit of the movie. I don't know what people's knowledge is of the movie, and I don't know if I really should say.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, but you're familiar with what it is, though, right?
Yeah. No, I know. My daughter saw it and she told me about it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for those that don't know, Sinners is a vampire film for the most part. Okay, and a very good one. Very good. And I also saw a movie called The Ugly Stepsister. which
Oh.
which is a Norwegian Swedish film, and I think you might like this because it's told in the perspective. It's a Cinderella based movie, okay, but it's told it's told from the ugly stepsister's point of view, okay, and all these things that that her mom is having her do to win the love of the Prince Charming, and we're back into like the 1800 periods, okay, and there's she's going through stuff with no pain relief whatsoever, right? There's no whatchamacallit, was it Novocaine or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so she's getting a nose job, okay, without any pain relief. She's getting eyelashes sewn into her eyes.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
And it's I really and I really enjoyed the Ugly Stepsister. I really enjoyed it.
I've never even heard of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not getting any promotion, that's why. But it is it was playing at my local AMC theater. So yeah. Look it up. Loop. I mean Loop does get in the the worst. Yeah.
It does what it's supposed to do. So it's a filler truck, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's filler.
And then Karina Corey gets looped into that, even though I love Karina Corey. It does get looped into the worst things Paul's ever done category. I think both Flaming Pie singles, The World Tonight, Young Boy made the top 20 over here.
And what about A Beautiful Night? That was a single too, wasn't it?
A Beautiful Night was a single as well.
That's one of my favorite McCartney songs. That's just that.
Yeah, Beautiful Night was fantastic. And I love the 80s version as well.
Yeah, that was produced by Phil Ramone, right?
Phil Ramone, yep, with backed by Billy Joel's band at the time.
Yeah. I literally bumped into Phil Ramone once. And
really?
By accident, literally bumped into him. And I said, "Oh, I got to tell you, I love your production of Beautiful Night." And he goes, "Of all the songs I've produced, you come up with one that's never been released. Good for you." I was like, "Sorry, buddy."
Good for you. Well, you really ruined his day. Thanks, way to go there, pal.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I don't know about all the other stuff, but boy, you did that."
Oh, and Byers might have the first.
That wasn't my fault. Let me just say.
Yeah, Byers might have the winning comment here of the day. I've seen a lot of Swedish stepsister films. I wonder what kind of films you're talking about, my friend.
I just discovered a Swedish prog band that are current called the Flower Kings, and as I interviewed the lead singer for Spill Magazine, and boy, it's like they're so good. I've just been blown away by the new album. So the Flower Kings, check it out if you like prog rock. Their new album, it's good.
It's good. It's good. I saw the trailer for Eddington. Yeah, that's the new Ari Aster film, who I'm a big fan of. Robert Eggers and Ari Aster are two of my favorite, newer filmmakers out there. Did either of you pick up the 2025 Record Store Day George Harrison vinyl? What's a Zoetrope? All Things Must Pass. I have not yet. You did get it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you can send that along with the
Heart of the People.
Yeah. Anyways, so we talked about remixes on the latest episode of Two Legs. I was curious to get your take on excuse me, a few of them. And what are your thoughts on the remixes, by the way?
I mean, I'm an 80s guy, so I've always liked remixes. I grew up with them in the 80s, and some of the best, like, the 12-inch single of The Perfect Kiss by New Order is far better than the 7-inch or the same thing with Temptation. I like 12. I loved a lot of McCartney 12-inch singles like this one. There was a really great 12-inch single that I really loved.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoy what you can do with a remix if it's well done. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, a few things, and I imagine that this is in your collection, right? Even though it's not a remix, it's the Temporary Secretary.
Is that the original one? The original
Yeah.
sleeve?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really rare now. You know, trying to find the sleeve. I have it, but it's very rare. And I
And,
love
yeah. Go ahead.
his Secret Friend on the B-side, right?
Secret Friend is the B-side, yes.
Love that. Love Secret Friend.
Yeah. I've come to really appreciate that. A friend of mine brought that up to me last year in Chicago, and I said, well, I had to go back and revisit it. And I was like, yeah, I finally got to really starting to really appreciate that track. Yeah.
I like that 12-inch.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan. I also I love McCartney too, and I thought Temporary Secretary was such a departure at that time for him that I just fell in love with it. So
yeah. Let's just start with there's for me I love the vocal reversal on the Say from 2015, the Pipes of Peace archive set. They feature the vocal reversal, and it's a little bit of a longer version as well. It's a remix by Mark Spike Stent at Mix Suite UK. So
it was a weird one. I the first time I heard it, it was really hard to get used to. It's like the solo version of Ebony and Ivory without Stevie. The first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, you know.
Well, this is definitely like Michael Jackson featuring Paul McCartney in a way, because Michael is singing just about all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then there's a couple of more remixes that came out of it, but interesting.
Right. Yeah. I think the best one for me is the Pretty Little Head.
Oh, I agree. Great cover too.
Yeah, I love this cover.
There's an example, Tom, where the 12-inch version is better than the album version.
Right.
Because it plays out beautifully. I really love that remix. Actually, all the remixes from Press to Play were, I thought, really good.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of them all, especially Press. Press had a really interesting remix.
Press did too. I'm trying to get to.
Wise Like Us 12-inch was good as well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Is it really?
It's Yes. Yeah.
Seriously. Oh wow.
250 to 300. I've been seeing. Yeah. 152. I've seen a couple of those. I did see Nosferatu. Yes. What did you think of? Did you see Nosferatu?
Not yet. No. I could have watched it on the plane over to Ireland, but I thought sitting in the theater, I need to go to the theater to see it, not watching it on a 3-inch screen.
Yeah. You can still find them out there, but and you'll get lucky. Every once in a while, you'll find one for a good price. But
not with the sleeve. There's a lot without the sleeve. Trying to find the original 12-inch sleeve was actually hard. Because, funny story, when I first bought the 12-inch single, I got it and it didn't have a sleeve. I didn't know there was a sleeve until about a month later. I was in a record store. I was like, damn it.
Right.
Damn it. I have to buy it again. Damn it. But there's a lot of sleeves, so just be careful.
Yeah, that's too funny. I mean, I'm not laughing at you.
No, you're laughing with me. I know.
Yes, there you go. Trying to find particular one here. And then you got some of these are good. Some of them out there are good, and some of them aren't so good. No More
There's
Lonely
so
Night.
many mixes of that song.
Yeah.
It's hard to it kind of got overboard, but and even having to buy 2 7-inch singles because the B-sides were different, and then the 12 singles. It got, but again, a couple of the remixes are really good. And I always thought it was interesting, the ballad version and the play-out version. I thought that was really on his part.
So the one that I picked was the extended version, which is the A side of this, which is 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay. And it's a completely different, it's a different vocal as well, which I think is great. But you're right though. And the funny thing is just like, people think that whole McCartney 3 thing was a new thing from Paul, he's been really, or the studio, him or the record label, whoever you want to blame, have been releasing multiple things, variations of stuff of Paul, for decades. Okay,
decades.
so
I'm gonna tell you, man. Yeah, no, it's nothing new. I wasn't.
right.
I was frustrated because I didn't get the one with the 3 dots on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We all were. Well, some of us. So few people got it. Few early risers got to it quickly. But oh well. Speaking of Spies Like Us, you got this like here.
Well, so that's a good example because Spies Like Us, there's a picture disc, the shape disc, the 12-inch, the 7-inch, 7-inch promo, which is 2 different versions that aren't even on anything. So yeah, it talk about collecting that one. That was hard.
Yeah.
Terrible video. I gotta say, not my favorite McCartney video.
Terrible video. That was some of this guy.
Great song. It's actually one of my favorite McCartney songs. I love that song.
Speaking of, there you go with the picture disc or whatever.
Well, that's the shape, but there's also a picture disc, 12-inch picture disc.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay, but then there was the cutout one too, wasn't there?
Yeah, right here.
No, wait, I'm talking about the picture disc.
Yeah, you mean this one right here. Christ, man, I'm dying over here.
Yeah, that was, and then did you ever get the promo, the 12-inch or the 7-inch?
This one right here. Yeah, so this is the 7-inch picture disc.
Yeah. That was a weird phase in record collecting where there was a lot of bands putting out these shaped discs. ABC did one, Mark Allman. A lot of British bands were doing them, and there was kind of it was a weird because they just looked weird on your turntable, and that was the big one. Record Store Days, the Easter egg shaped soundtrack for Snoopy, which I didn't even see it. Mine buy it.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go with the other one.
That's a good. I love that.
I like the other side is better though. I think.
Yeah. Well, and the B side is a Wings track, right? Which is My Carnival.
Yes. Which it's funny because we know how often he tried to get the cold cuts off the ground, but finally there in the mid '80s he was just like, screw it, we'll just put them on B sides.
Yeah. Mama's Little Girl.
Yeah, Mama's Little Girl. Absolutely. Let's see here. Buyer says I much prefer what's that you're doing.
You know what? Lost Gem. I mean, it's
so?
Yeah, because it's kind of got that Stevie Wonder superstition thing going on, and I know that he remixed it for Twin Freaks, right? That came out, but I thought for sure that should have been a remix for Tug of War. That would have been pretty cool if they put out a dance club version of that song. But I prefer that to Say. I think that's what you're saying, James. At least I do.
Henry says, I will say Johnny Depp's daughter was great in it.
What's she in?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nosferatu.
I didn't know that. There you go. I'm out of the loop, man. I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, I find plenty of copies of Run Double Run at Value Village. Really?
Not the vinyl though, Doc. CD, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And not the little box set of six.
No,
that's a cool. I like that.
Yeah, I need to dig that out and display that as well. Let's see that. Highly recommend the new book, John and Paul Love Story in Songs.
Oh, it is good, eh?
Hey.
I've not read it yet. I've ordered it. I haven't read it yet. So I just finished reading a book about John and Yoko in Canada in 1969. It was called The Year Canada Was Almost Cool. No, it's like it was called The Year Canada Was Cool. But it's a good book.
It was press. Yeah, this has the remix on it too. And
then there was the 10-inch. That was different.
Yes.
And then the rare 7-inch single with the rare right
here. Yeah, whatever.
And the 7-inch are really interesting because there's the video at it. There's the one that kind of got pulled in England, and so
this was a cool find. I mean, I know they're you can find these pretty easy, but I didn't know this existed until I found it. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it when it came out because I'm older than you.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But yeah, I'm not gonna open it up. Whatever. What you can do, which is for stuff like this, what I love is my friend, friend John Blaney, his series of books, Paul McCartney's songs he was singing, has a lot of that kind of stuff, in here in his book. Especially, it's great for collectors and stuff like that. So
This whole series of books are quite good. I mean, they're all good. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So there's that. What else do we got here? Oh, here's a cool find. This was, I think, Brazilian. This was the ebony and ivory. I think this is from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this picture sleeve on it. So pretty cool.
There's that really cool Brazilian EP too that came out, I think, 1990. It's kind of cool. It's got 4 tracks and it's very neat. But
okay,
really cool. I've never seen that, Tom.
Yeah. So and then naturally there's the UK, EMI, ebony and ivory. So it's all and then you got the Waterfalls 12-inch.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah, which I've never been the biggest fan of.
Where's that from? Is that from? That's not from the UK.
Yeah, this is EMI. Yeah, this is probably Parlophone. Yep, Parlophone. Yes. Yeah, it was a single in the UK. Yeah.
I like Check My Machine. I like the opening of it. Well, the opening is great. It's a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah.
Monetary.
Yeah. Let's see here. We've got Henry saying, I'm skeptical of Paul. Well, okay. I mean, I don't feel like talking about the movies right now. We've talked about them in length weeks ago. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm not sure who for, but we squabble over terms. But I must get my dinner. All you need is love. Yeah, James, thank you for joining us. It's great seeing. Yeah, it's great seeing you.
12-inch single of All You Need Is Love?
No.
Wow. There was a whole All You Need Is Love, Hey Jude 12-inch, Hey Jude 12-inch picture disc.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They came out when they were doing the 20th anniversary of each record. And then All You Need Is Love was weird because they released 2 different sleeves for that one, for the 7-inch. And again, it was one of those moments where I had it and I was in a record store. I went, damn it. A second one? What the hell?
That's too funny. And then you got the original. I
like the instrumental on that. I think it's good.
Yeah. And then you got the Ode to the Koala Bear, which is not a favorite of mine. Andy loves Ode to the Koala Bear.
I do too. I do. Yeah. Do you have Take It Away 12-inch?
Which version?
Japanese yellow vinyl?
No, not that one. I do have the EMI and the cap, or the Columbia, I should say.
Now see, I'll Give You a Ring. Love.
Yes.
Love it. Brilliant song. One of his best.
I agree. One of the great B-sides of his career.
Well, I'm going to say it's a great single because I love Take It Away. I love Ringo's drumming at the beginning with Steve Gadd. Fantastic song altogether.
And the video is fantastic as well.
Yeah, one of his best. That and Pipes and Pieces are up there,
Yes, I do know. Now there's 2 different shades of color on this picture on this
different tracks.
Yeah, so I need to get the more orangish peaches, I guess. The peach are one that's a little bit more lighter in color.
Yeah. See, that is in my top 5 McCartney songs. Once Upon a Long Ago.
Cool.
I love the video. I love the song.
Yeah.
I think it's got one of his best guitar solos in his career. And there again, the 12-inch in my mind is much better than the 7-inch or all the best version. I love the 12 inch of that. Love it.
Yeah, because this is a 6. Yeah, this is the extended version, 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Yeah,
I'll play that more than any other 12-inch single
Yeah.
because I love the long version of that song. Love it. Did I
excellent.
say that I love that song?
No.
Yeah, it's true. True story.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. Yeah. Then we got My Brave Face, 12-inch, which doesn't feature any remixes or anything like that. So,
But bonus tracks, though.
Yeah, bonus tracks. At this time, he was doing stuff from the Russian album as bonus tracks,
which became the Russian album.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. There was one that I was looking for, and then you've got 20 figures of 8s.
Oh yeah, because the German one is
Yeah. This I kind of enjoy. The Hope of Deliverance, the Deliverance remixes.
Yep, Deliverance.
I kind of like those too. So yeah. See, what did Michael Jackson? Oh, go ahead.
The 12-inch of Brown Eyed Handsome Man is pretty good too. The extended version.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. It doesn't exist.
I was like, damn it, do I have that?
I was going to play along with that. No, that's just
you son of a. Why did Michael Jackson choose to buy the Beatles catalog? Because it was for sale?
Well, I don't know. And the story goes that because Paul gave him the idea.
Well, yeah. And Paul just didn't like the idea of buying his own music back. So he hesitated. Michael's team was ready to go. They were on top of the purchasing procedures, so they were ready to purchase. They didn't waste any time, and
he had the cash, right? I mean,
yeah.
But didn't Paul also have an issue with Yoko? Wasn't there an issue with Yoko too?
Well, Yoko didn't want. I'm trying to remember the exact story, but I don't know if Yoko didn't wasn't into it either. I mean, Paul could have just gone in by himself and got these, and it's crazy because he was so into the publishing rights anyways that I'm sure that his brother-in-law could have got him a deal, if he really wanted that catalog bad enough, But again, it's like he had that attitude. Why do I need to buy back my music?
It's weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
I think if you were to ask him now, I think he would say that this was one of his big regrets, not getting it then.
100%. Well, although a lot of it's reverted back to him now. I mean, everything up to
now. But I mean, just think if he had that then. I mean, just think. I mean, he would have been a billionaire sooner. You know what I mean? Or maybe he would have been a 2 times over billionaire right now.
Well, you know what? It would have spared us seeing the songs in some really questionable commercials too. That's just...
I mean, it wouldn't have been on the Nike commercial, that's for sure. No, it never would have been on. Revolution would have been never used for a Nike commercial. I thought I was the only one who went. It's true. Oh, it's true. No.
Oh, it's true.
Do you think MPO will do a limited edition 12-inch box set in a DJ crate?
That would be really cool.
I'd buy it.
I would. I love that. Did you buy the crate of the 7-inch singles?
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, I got that in storage too that I need to grab.
That is absolutely brilliant, and I think that's a really good idea. I wish they would, because there was a lot of promo 12-inch singles too, that like the mole mix of No More Lonely Nights, which is super rare.
Yeah. Tom, what would you consider the rarest McCartney 12-inch? Probably the Temporary Secretary, because there was only a handful made.
Well, the new one is 2500 pressed of the one-sided one.
Yeah. So
that's pretty rare. And also,
even the stuff today, the 12-inch stuff that's coming out today, I mean, those are pretty rare as well. this I think is the Rush is 12-inch.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
That's pretty rare as well. Same with the Twin Freaks.
Well, there's two Twin Freaks. One was promo
Yes.
only. That was super hard to find, and that's sold
Right.
for a pretty penny these days.
Right.
But I would think Temporary Secretary. I also think the
Yes.
mold mix is pretty hard to come by now at a good price.
Right. And then Nick just made a good point too, that I should have known better as
It's
the song
Brazil.
goes.
I thought it was Brazil.
Yeah, it's Brazil. Yeah, the waterfalls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And,
I should have known better.
there is, I think, the German 45 is the edited version of Waterfalls, because there was a promo sent out where they cut some of the bit out, so shorter. For some reason, I think it was the German 7-inch single, which has the edit on it too. So, I mean, I have blessed the day I found my wife, because she can understand this stuff. She just got to roll her eyes and go, "Well, that's nice. You needed that third copy of Rotogravure on purple vinyl, did you?"
Yes. Okay. Well, why is this even a question anymore?
Did you see the Ringo releases coming out on Friday Records?
Yeah.
Ringo Rama.
Good. I'm happy about that, but I mean, why does it need to be $70?
I don't know. That freaked me out. That's a lot of money. And the live album, Live in Chicago, is coming out too, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
that doesn't interest me, but
Rotogravure. I mean, I wonder if this is the start of something. Are they going to do Choose Love next? Are they going to do? And I still say the greatest vinyl missing, Liverpool 8, should be on album.
Yeah. And Ringo Rama is probably my favorite of that period.
I go Choose Love. I like Choose Love. I really do.
Well, Choose Love is good too.
Yeah.
And cool for Friday Music for being the ones to put that stuff out. So yes, Nick, thank you for reminding me of that. Rinse the Raindrops Twin Freaks 12-inch is very hard to get. Yes,
it really is, and it's good though.
Yeah. Hey, Ray. Hi from Miami. I read that Paul thought Michael was joking when he told him about while making Say. You can picture Michael's voice telling Paul that. Yeah.
I've heard that McCartney has said that. It's very funny because it's like, oh, that's a good one. Oh, what happened? What?
How about your music, Paul?
Oh, that's nice, Michael.
And then I think there was a time where Paul asked him for like a raise or something like that too. And
I don't know. They never recovered from that, right? They never became. Yeah. They didn't stay friends because of that.
No, I don't think so.
They're like, hey, Mickey, Mike.
Yeah. Let's see here. Tom Frangione on the Beatles channel played the Twin Freaks edition of Rinse the Raindrops. Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
There is a rare song I don't think Tom's played yet. And it was when Liverpool 8 came out, you could order a song, a download through New York Times of a Ringo song that wasn't on the album. And I forget the title of the song right off the top of my head. But that's super rare to find now because it was only, you had to, and luckily I had my wife's cousin lives in New York and she called me up and said, do you want this song? I went, I don't know, Margot, do you want to stay in the family? So, so I got it. But that's kind of I think I'm going to write Tom and see if he'll play that because that's pretty rare. It'd be good to put on. Just an aside, talking about Ringo because I'm kind of fixated on Ringo these days.
Right. Nick says it's 70 because it's a double album. Yeah, but still, the double albums. I mean, I could see if I could understand if it was a record store day release, an exclusive record store day release. Well, I can understand $70.
And there's two colors, and the bonus tracks are not unreleased, Nick. They're the ones that were on. So when Ringo Rama came out, there was a deluxe edition that came out, and the bonus tracks are the ones that are on the deluxe edition. So they've been out before, but never on vinyl. And I know it's a double album, and I've ordered it. You know, I mean, I've had this discussion. I've ordered 2 copies, one on yellow, one on. You know, it's been great dinner time conversation here in the Badgley household. You know, what can you say?
I just picture it in my mind, you know.
Well, you know, Andrea, so you can picture it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and I can just see it. So, oh, here we go again.
My favorite question is: are there only 2 colors, or there's going to be another 20? Like I'm just asking. 2, honey, 2, just 2. I promise.
Just two. Yeah, that's great. I love it. Hello, Joe Wisby. Congratulations on your recent chat with Robert Rodriguez, who is I love Robert Rodriguez.
Great,
fantastic,
yeah,
fantastic guy. And he said that he bought a secondhand Ringo concert from 2001 DVD, cheap, great band, Greg Lake and Roger Hodgson.
Yeah, that was a good tour.
What Supertramp, right, Roger?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Never been the biggest Supertramp fan.
You know, I wasn't until about 5 years ago, and then I've kind of rediscovered them, and now I'm a pretty big fan.
Okay.
But I'm old.
And this is real. Says, "Wow, that's rough." We're probably referring to your family member.
Probably, yeah. Well, thanks. You know what? I appreciate the empathy.
Yes. So did I see you show the Rush's vinyl, Tom? You found a copy? No. What that was is it was a 12-inch single from Rush's.
So funny story, Tom. You know, I'm on Discogs, and you can put on a watch list. And
yeah.
I got a thing today. It said Rush's is for sale, and it was $9.76 Canadian, but I thought it said $97.60 Canadian, and I got excited. And then I went to buy it. I was like $1,100 for postage. What are you talking about?
Oh man, and I think people are realizing this too. You know, when it comes to Rush's, it's very desirable. And I'm sure people know that I really want one badly, and I will get it. I will get it eventually.
It just takes time, man. It takes time.
It just takes time.
Time takes time.
Exactly. Yes. Have either of you heard the new single from Alice Cooper, the band? So Alice Cooper, the original Alice Cooper, is back together. Yeah. The drop today, Black Mamba. No, I haven't heard.
I did. Love it. I think Bob Ezrin produced it as well. Who produced it?
I hope so. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's. I was going to go see him here in Toronto. He's playing with Judas Priest. But the tickets are very expensive, so I'm going to see if they come down a bit because they're a bit pricey. So
one of my favorite bands that I got to cook for, Judas Priest. It was a great experience.
Nice guys.
Oh, fantastic! So I had 2 experiences. Well, the one with Rob. Okay, so we're doing the Metallica show because Rob lives in Arizona. Okay, when I I found that out when I moved to Arizona. So it's like, oh, cool. But so we're doing the Metallica show at the football stadium. Okay. We've got a tent outside next to the stadium or whatever. So yeah, it was so we're doing the cooking outside. And I got done. I went to go outside to go into the dining area where everybody was dining. I walk out, and then standing right in front of me is Rob Halford. And so I got to chat with him for a few minutes, and that was pretty exciting. You know?
That's cool. That's very cool.
I mean, it's not every day you find yourself standing in front of the metal god, So, and then when I got to cook for their show, I had to put food in their dressing room while they were performing the show. I had to put the food in their dressing room at a certain time, because they wanted to eat after the live performance. So their one guitar player, Glenn Tippeton, who is retired, but a few years back, he was like showing up to play encores like every other show or whatnot. So I took the food. I go into the dressing room to set it all up, and then there's Glenn Tippeton right there. He's on the couch, and I was just like, I was just like, got to shake his hand and just tell him how big of a fan I was. So I set it all up. I went back to watch the rest of the show, and then there he was on the stage doing, playing the encore. So that was really exciting.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So, so there's a few perks,
Well, you think?
Yeah. Breakfast in America is a great album.
It is. Although I love the album, it's great, but I also love Even in the Quietest Moments, which has really grown on me over the last couple of years. Good album.
Okay.
Yeah, Breakfast in America is top. Yeah, absolutely.
Was there anything else we were going to talk about or anything?
We pretty well covered it all. We got the new Ringo releases, new Alice Cooper, and the George Harrison, of course.
George Harrison, Dark Horse, yep.
I don't think there's anything else. Oh my gosh.
All right, well, we're going to start wrapping this up here. So if you got any last comments, let's get them in now. And then we'll say goodbye. We're going to be recording a new episode of Two Legs here in a couple hours. Very excited about it. I don't want to show what or say who we're talking to right now, but I'm sure we'll post a thumbnail later on the Two Legs social media stuff and platforms and whatnot, and we'll do that. Oh, by the way, did you pre-order the SHM McCartney discs?
Oh, the new ones, the 80s?
Yeah. The Wave 3. Yeah.
I did. Actually, I just listened to the Japanese SHM, whatever. Ringo Look Up, which sounds really good. In terms of the poster, which came, it was really nice packaging.
Nice.
And tonight, I'm going to a concert, which is I know I never go to concerts, but I'm going tonight. Gang of Four. Very excited to see Gang of Four. Yeah. Gang of Four. Do you remember them from the late 70s, early 80s? I love a man in uniform. But I'm excited to see them live. So yeah.
Excellent. Very cool. All right, guys. So thank you again, everybody, for popping in.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for the nice scores and comments and the humor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hold on. Nick says, Aaron, to be honest, do the SHM CDs actually sound any better?
Now,
what do you think?
Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they do, but I don't know if it's power suggestion. But I did think that the Look Up sounded. I compared the two. I compared my. I think mine's a Canada. We get the European pressings usually than the American pressings. And I thought it sounded different. Like the acoustic guitars in the first track, for example, really came through on the Japanese one. But you know what? I mean, I don't have the greatest sound system in the world, but I like the sound of them. I'm full disclosure, I bought it because it came with a poster. Damn it, poster! What the hell? So, but I don't know if they do sound better than normal CDs. Tom, what do you think? You got the McCartney ones. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think certain ones do, especially the earlier McCartney. The McCartney, the Ram, the Wildlife. I
thought Ram sounded really good. Yeah.
I do think certain ones do. The Venus and Mars one might be questionable. If anything, maybe it's just louder to my ears.
Maybe that's what it is, Tom. Maybe they're just they're
mixed louder.
Yeah.
So in that regard, maybe they do. People think they sound better because of that.
But original Japanese pressings sound really amazing. Like I just picked up Double Fantasy, and it sounds beautiful. Which is interesting because on the back of the Obi strips.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It has an ad for Somewhere in England with the original cover before they changed it. Yeah. So,
very
cool. I think it sounds really nice. So I'm not trying to edge Nick. I think maybe Tom's got a point where maybe they're mastered louder and they sound better. Maybe.
Yeah. And Nick's laughing about that. So Aaron, my friend, great hanging out with you again.
I love hanging out with you, and I look forward to your show you're recording today.
What's that?
I look forward to the show you're recording today. Can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you. We're a big fan of this book, and I'm surprised it took us this long to invite the person, the author, on the show, and we're really looking forward to it. Can't wait. And
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm
yeah.
excited. So
Yeah, thanks. And then continue working on that Ringo and Klaatu books. Thanks for taking a break from those and and coming on. It's always great hanging out with you. Again, it's always a barrel of laughs. I can always count on my day being a little funnier.
yeah, me too.
Having you on and talking about our collecting, I don't know if I'd say if it's a problem, but it's a problem that we don't have everything. That's the problem,
As my wife says, it's amazing you can still find stuff you're missing. No, honey, it's not amazing. It's just that's the way it is. I'm trying
hard, babe. I'm trying real hard.
If only you knew.
Little does she know how deep the rabbit hole is.
Oh, we're hitting Middle Earth.
And there's no hobbits to be found.
No, just a lot of dragons and a lot of my precious. Yeah. All right, so everyone, thank you very much for.
Take care, everyone. We will see you soon. Bye.
Promise.